day, Dawns ARKS. Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast recorded live on March 28th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Xance. Go ahead and say hello. I say that one more time there, Xance here. I apologize.
We're in the long way for NGS right now.
Indeed. Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't realize that your mic was still cut off there.
Oh, whoops.
Yep. Technical problems, but then again, it's been kind of like that this whole day, hasn't it?
Anyway, let's restart. Day Dawns ARKS. Welcome everyone to your weekly.
Yeah, it's between the storm I had and you losing your power before we were about to go live. It's just been that kind of a day so far.
Oh yeah, it's been that day. Hey CN, how's it going? But yeah, my power went out. So around 12 o'clock, we were supposed to get, start up and get together. I was actually on Clementine, by the way. So, and my power just went right off. Which, funny thing, that happened to me on Friday as well. I was streaming Monster Hunter and power went off because the winds were so strong it blew a tree over and landed on a power line.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What was it today?
I don't know. I don't know what caused it.
Well, hopefully you'll get some kind of answer about that soon.
Yeah. But hey, I have power now, so it should be okay, I guess.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, this almost turned into a solo show, but honestly, it was not going to feel right if you weren't probing me on some of the stuff we're going to be talking about here today.
Yeah, because you actually got to play the NGS closed beta test.
I know, this was such a surprise, it almost didn't happen, and once again, I have to give a huge thank you to the Rio Pichu for allowing me time on the account that they had access to be able to get in there and actually give it a try and see what worked, see what didn't work, and things like that.
Also, water pipeline leaks. Ugh, not fun.
Yeah.
Any kind of thing like that, just sudden, completely ruins all your plans. You were planning on playing Monster Hunter Online all day, and all of a sudden you're without power for 4 hours. Fun. By the way, Monster Hunter Rise, really, really good. Highly recommend it. I'm already 10 hours in, and I love it.
I gave Monster Hunter a try with, I think, funnily enough, Monster Hunter Try, but I never really got into it.
It's a custom taste you need to get into. You need to be into that kind of loop of hunting a monster, carving it up, and using up those carvings to make better armor to then hunt bigger monsters.
Gotcha.
It's a very specific loop.
Gotcha.
And yeah, the older Monster Hunter games were not that friendly to newcomers, but the newer ones have definitely made things easier. World went a bit too far with casualization, so Rise is perfect.
Okay.
Had no power for 3 days. Ugh.
Yeah, that isn't fun. That's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess let's go ahead and kick things off here. So last weekend was the new Genesis closed beta test, the second one. Of course, we're still waiting on news for the global closed beta test, but the question's going to be, is that going to be another PC one, or is that also going to count as the console beta test as well?
My assumption is probably going to be PC specific. I know that there are a lot of people that are playing on Xbox still, which is good, but there's still... I think the majority of the audience is on PC.
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah,
and
specifically with 3 storefronts that the game's on now.
True. Versus just the Xbox One and the Xbox Series at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess...
we don't know what it's going to be. I doubt it's going to be Xbox exclusive, like the original global release was. Like, if it was Series X or Series S exclusive, then I would be a bit peeved.
Yeah.
Or just through the Microsoft Store as well, yeah. I have the game on Steam now, and have only been playing on Steam since.
Pretty much the same here, yeah. That seems to have been the most stable platform, plus the Epic Game Store came in a little too late, plus the rewards of just logging in there once wasn't good enough to really entice me to log in even a single time there.
Yeah. And speaking of other storefronts, I actually mentioned this a bit before, just going off a bit topic here. I found out that Crash Bandicoot 4 is actually on PC now, only on Battle.net, which is Activision Blizzard's exclusive launcher thing, and it has always online DRM. Fun.
Yep. So that's...
Why do these companies always think of doing their own storefronts and just screwing everything up for everyone?
Well, I mean, Blizzard was kind of one of the first ones to do that, though, so you really can't blame them. I mean, I think Steam was shortly before them, but Blizzard was like the first one that kind of broke off like that.
Well, yeah, because they had their own Battle.net thing for specifically World of Warcraft, or with Warcraft specifically.
Yeah, and StarCraft, and I guess they just didn't want to tie it into Steam at that point.
Well, yeah, they had their own launcher thing back in the early 2000s, so
yep,
it worked out. Oh yeah, the Bethesda launcher is garbage as well.
And then there's the the Origin launcher and the Ubisoft launcher, and it's crazy.
Being a PC gamer is great. Got to deal with all these launchers, especially for online games. We have their specific launchers. Like I have a specific launcher for Final Fantasy 14, one for Dragon Quest 10, one for Clementine, one for Blue Burst, one for what other games do I have here? Final Fantasy 11, Guild Wars 2, Warframe.
Well, I suppose
the list goes on.
I suppose if there's any consolation, it's that you're never gonna have your digital online store taken down and never be able to download anything from there ever again.
Stadia.
And PS3, Vita,
yeah.
PSP.
Oh yeah, PS3 stuff. Oh boy.
Yeah,
hey, I have my Vita. It's hacked, so I can get any game that I want.
Yeah, it's a situation that's going out in the gaming world right now, and if I had to take a guess, I would say Sony is probably updating their network, and they just don't want to support those consoles in the new version.
Yeah. But anyway, we got a bit off topic here.
Yep. Yeah, back to New Genesis.
Let's go back to New Genesis here, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, so it went through last weekend. There were some downtimes with it, but that they did compensate players with extra time at the end for those downtimes. That mug translation is once again just a Google translation.
Yep. We're gonna run it into the ground.
Yeah. And now here I am. I have just gone completely off the deep end, and I can't stop looking at hexagons. Which we'll get to in a little bit here, if you haven't seen that video yet.
Yeah, I actually did want to bring up that video you made about that boat.
Yeah, it's, I guess we can bring it up now here. That was a real surprise, because it was just completely out of place when I found the thing. I was just looking to the east of where the tower quest was, and I just came across this boat. Inside it is a fishing net and 2 pieces of cloth, and I'm like, what is this boat doing here? This is like really low tech. And then I started looking around, and I was like, there's an ARKS encampment up the hill, but we haven't seen any kind of clothing or anything like that that looks like what we're seeing on this cloth here. And so then I noticed the hexagons, and I said, huh, that's a strange thing to see. And then, after all that, and let me bring it up now here, hopefully I still have it open. Do I? Yes I do. Then, at that point, I start looking at the concept art for New Genesis here, specifically on the dolls. And what do you know? I start seeing the darn hexagons on them as well. And so this one, it's on his the backside of his gloves there. And then, whoops, we're gonna skip forward. There we go. And then for this doll here, it's sort of where I guess like its chin or beard is, on the sides here. That's where you can see the hexagons. Plus on the top of its forehead, it's kind of got like these hexagons up here as well. So yeah, it's showing up on this one, and then we've got this big guy, whereby, okay, it's not obvious immediately until you take a look at his belly, and it's right there in the center.
I see that there.
Yep. And then lastly, we have this guy, which is, I guess, like a dog doll or something like that. And so I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, I'm not seeing them. I don't see them anywhere on here. Where are those hexagons? And then that's when I realized they are there, but they're on the in-game model right here. Right at the edges of the shoulders.
Oh.
So it's holding steady. I can't believe I found this thing during a closed beta test, and this has, like I said in the video, this has huge implications, the biggest being that the dolls are man-made.
Huh. So that's gonna open up some interesting story stuff, I hope.
I agree. And this kind of goes to something that I was saying even before the closed beta started. I've been thinking the dolls could turn into like the new AIS for the ARKS. As weird as that may sound, I think that's something that Sega could potentially be looking to do here.
But make it like a story reason as to why they're being man-made, by like the main villain of the story is creating these dolls or something.
Right, and if anything, right now we know that these are creatures that are basically sort of water or some sort of liquid based, and I'm thinking to myself, do we see any like settlements like that? We can't really at this point. There is a pyramid on the map that we do know about, but there isn't too much else that we really know about at this point here, unless you start diving into the data mine files, which I'm not going to bring up here. But the other possibility that could be in play here is it's possible we could be looking at a civilization that lives under the water, and at that point, then we're talking, oh boy, Blue Submarine number 6 again.
Blue Submarine number 6?
You ever see that anime?
I have not.
It was basically this crazy inventor or something, basically lived under the water, is creating these mutated creatures that came out of the water, and was basically trying to destroy humanity.
Oh.
That could kind of be what's going on here. I mean, it's a guess, but it's one of the best guesses I got for now, at least until we know more.
Or maybe it's something involving falls is creating these dolls. I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, we're talking 1,000 years, but this would also be a good opportunity for Sega to subvert fans' expectations as well.
I got it. It's the humans, and it's Mother Brain that's creating them.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen other ideas that it's from the Discord that I'm in that the whole world itself may just be a virtual creation, or it's just by the fact that there's plating in the ground and things like that, or it could be like a training planet, and then like, I don't know, second episode we actually go out into the universe again or something like that. So.
And yeah, that is true. We are theory crafting already, because information that we get from closed beta test, we can get something out of it, I hope.
Yep. So a lot of theory crafting going on, but you know what? When I saw that boat, I was like, that's out of place. What's going on? And suddenly I'm out creating that video, and what can I say? I'm looking forward to seeing just how well that is going to hold in the future here.
By the way, shameless plug to watch his video. Go watch his video.
Thank you very much on that one.
You can click on his channel icon and go watch the theory video he made about that boat.
Yep.
And yeah, I do hope the story is more cohesive as well. Were there any story quests that you were able to do?
So there were quests marked as story, but they were sort of like the introduction to the game. So go out and kill 15 enemies, I think was one, and then go complete a cocoon, I think was another. And then I think after that, then it was just sort of the side and the weekly missions after that.
Okay. And speaking of the cocoon and towers, what'd you think of them?
Well, I think the obvious joke here is they're basically a ripoff of the shrines from Breath of the Wild. But beyond that, I think they're pretty fun. They definitely get you to learn how to use your character. Like, for instance, inside the one tower quest that they had, which is the longer of the quests, there are certain puzzles that you need to get by in terms of being able to collect these boxes. And in order to get one of them, you have to do a complicated double jump into a wall jump onto another platform. And I was struggling with it for a while until I realized, hey, maybe I can use Nova Strike to push myself that last little bit. And what do you know, it worked.
Oh. So, small little platforming puzzles. I like that.
Yeah, and then there's another whereby the whole...
One of my favorite...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like one of my favorite things to do in the PSO2 was those instances where they had those like jumping puzzle kind of things.
Yep. And there is another one actually that says you can't use your photon glide ability more than 4 times, or else you fail part of the cocoon.
Ooh.
So yeah, I could see puzzles that are going to require complicated use of photon arts, potentially requiring specific classes to complete them.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then it makes sense that they're giving you all the skill points up front here. By if you complete all the cocoons and the tower quest, you get enough skill points to max out all the classes, not just one.
Nice. Yeah, I'm assuming that skill points are separate per class. So if you get one skill point for the cocoon, that's one skill point for all your classes.
Correct.
All right. And from what I was told, when it comes to alts, any skill point that you get on one of your characters applies to all of your characters.
I think that's right. I didn't test that, but that sounds right.
That is really nice. Especially going around with leveling up a new class. You already have access to all the skills now. So it makes it to where, okay, you were a fighter and got that up to level 20, but now you want to level up Hunter. So you switch over to Hunter, but you also have all the skill points, so you're able to just put that in, and from level 1, you can start easily power leveling.
Pretty much, yeah. It definitely makes things a lot easier than it used to be.
So yeah, I like that. I really like that. Another question I had was these scratches. I'm assuming they're similar to how they were in PSO2?
They're similar, but there are some differences. For myself, I only did a single scratch. Since it wasn't my account, I didn't want to use up too much AC. But it's got like a new look to it, which is kind of cool. And everything is now done as tickets instead of having like different costumes and things like that.
Okay.
So they are locked to the character. I don't know if using 2 of them still does the unlock on all the characters or not.
I don't know how I feel about that.
But the other thing is I found out what's happening with the Fun Scratch.
Oh?
So Fun Scratch is going away, and instead every single day, you get a single full AC scratch instead.
Oh!
So you could potentially luck into whatever it is that you're still looking for.
Honestly, I like that.
I think it's a fair trade.
Absolutely. I'll definitely take the free draw every day, because you might potentially get one of the emotes, and all of a sudden, there you go. There's your Meseta for the week.
Yep.
Not even for the week, probably for the month.
Okay, DRB Games, thank you for the confirmation there.
Okay. But are they? I'm guessing they're still going to be keeping the layered wear system.
I believe so, but it's also setware now as well.
Okay. Oh yeah, all I want is the money. One thing I'm going to be doing is just going around collecting as many materials as I can just to sell it. I want the money. Bring in the money from me, because I know people are going to want to upgrade as soon as possible, so I will supply the upgrade materials if you give me the cash.
Yeah, the initial launch is if you're a new player, you're going to be getting sold by all the experienced players that brought in gear from PSO2.
Mm-hmm. Which I will be doing myself personally, obviously. But even then, from what I was told, NGS stuff is more powerful than anything you can bring over from PSO2.
Pretty much. I think if I remember correctly, like the 15 stars are only going to count as like a 4-star in New Genesis.
Yep. And the 4-star New Genesis are just vastly superior.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah, that makes sense.
Say again?
Which makes sense.
Yep. I'm gonna bring up some footage.
Speaking of the world, how much of it was available from this beta test?
So from this beta test, there were, let's see, it was 3 main areas. You had, well, technically 4. You had Central Area, which was basically good for the level 1 to 4 range. You had Southern Area, which was good for around level 3 to 7. You had an area to the far right, which is slipping, or far east rather, which is slipping my mind right now. You're actually looking at it right here. This was good for around level 5 to 10, and then you have North Area, which is for levels 10 to 15. Now, the game doesn't say that to you, but that's sort of where I would expect that most players are going to be leveling up their other classes. And when it comes to initially leveling up, just get your quests done, and you're going to be at level 10 in no time.
Well, that's good.
Yep. But then
I'm just curious on how the leveling is going to be for all of your subclasses. Basically, any class that you don't bring through the initial story quest. How is the leveling experience going to be when it comes to going from 1 and doing no quest, just going out and fighting things?
So, it's at that point you'll have at least some experience with the game. And you'll at least know how to fight different enemies at that point, even though you're on a new class at that point. But you'll basically be going out into the world like this and just taking down different targets. Yep. In the first few levels, you'll be able to get by just by taking on some of the critters that are out in the world, as well as some of the weaker enemies. There are enemies like dolls and such that do start at like level 1, from what I saw, and they continue to grow as you go into different zones, and as you're fighting through the zones, as you're trying to level up, of course you'll be gathering all this great loot.
Mm-hmm. Also, I see that the footage you're using is from one of your Twitch streams because I showed up there. Bye.
Indeed. Yeah, I everything is just captured now, and that's basically what I'm displaying here. Yep, and there's that golden beauty I found. But yeah,
what I noticed with your footage there, transitioning from the exploration area to one of the combat areas was just smooth.
Oh yeah, it's
tell that with the combat stuff, it looks like it's capped at 8, and the exploration was capped at 32.
Correct.
It's still an instanced MMO, or yeah, it's still an instance multiplayer online game. It's not a massive multiplayer online game, so it's just an MO.
Right, yeah, you're not going to have huge zones of players, except for like in the city where you can have up to, I think, 100 at a time.
Oh wow, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
I think That's better than what PSO2 does, I think.
Yeah, I think...
How many does the PSO2 lobbies do? Actually, don't they do 100 as well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, you're still getting more players than you ever did in PSO2 in a single area at a single time. And that's when, if you are fighting a big boss like this, and you just got 32 players in the area, they can all just be sort of pounding on the enemy all at the same time and just take it out real quick.
Yeah, and I'm also noticing that EXP gain from normal enemies is pretty low.
Well, that's also because I'm in this area after I've already out-leveled it. So this area is basically has level 5 enemies in it, and that's why I'm saying don't stay here for much beyond level 10. The only reason you would stay here is if you actually want to hunt down rares, which do drop when you have like a PSE burst climax like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
and I see that all the items just went right into your inventory there.
Correct. And the thing I've learned,
what happens? Did you see what happens if you get if your inventory is full? What happens to your items then?
So there's a temporary storage that things go into if you are full.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's not like you're going to just leave items on the ground anymore. You're actually able to just use that temporary storage until you get back into town. Granted, I didn't see how big that storage is, so I don't know if there's a limit to that. So until we know for certain, you might want to be careful about that.
Okay. Because I will be going out. Like, part of it is not only collecting as many materials as I possibly can, but I'm also wondering if I could just collect a bunch of weapons just so I could sell those either on the shop or just sell them to NPCs for extra Meseta, which I believe these are called new Meseta?
Yep, new Meseta. And honestly, weapons and such don't sell that well to NPCs. It was like each sword was giving me only like 50 Meseta.
Which, from what I'm seeing with enemy drops, you can get like around 20 Meseta for them.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not much, but every little bit counts.
If anything, it's probably used better as grinder fodder at that point.
That as well. Oh yeah, the changes of combat. So, how'd you really like the combat? And did you get adjusted to the lack of just attacks?
So I was able to get adjusted to the lack of just attacks. And what I found is that it gave me a chance to prioritize more on defensiveness, and this is me speaking more because I was mostly experienced with Hunter in New Genesis. But the way that it works now is you do your auto combo until you want to use a photon art or you want to guard an incoming attack. And when you guard an incoming attack, there's no more ignition parry or anything like that. So it's just your regular guard. So you have a bigger window to guard in now. And basically, once you get that guard, then you just go ahead and use a regular attack that takes you right to the end of your combo, essentially. And so you're doing your big hit immediately after you block, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And then also something I'm seeing here, you're now able to use the weapons of your subclass.
That is correct. Yep. So I was a hunter fighter, and I grabbed some knuckles and put them on, and I started fighting with those as well.
That's gonna create some very interesting combinations, because when you think about it, there was always that kind of meta of you always use their subclass just for the stat increases, and that's it. So it created a meta of this is the correct subclass for this main job. I'm interested. It's obviously there's going to be a meta that revolves around this kind of thing as well. But I'm interested to see what kind of weird combinations happen, like Force Gunner, like something like that.
Yep. And I also saw somebody that was using Gunner Hunter, actually. And the way that worked is they would get their combo all the way up to 100, and then they would finish it up using the Hunter's big new overend attack, essentially. Not sure what it's called, but it basically does like 8 or 9 hits when it's fully charged, and then you can just keep fully charging it until time runs out on the chain trigger.
That actually sounds really good.
Yep, it is.
That's the kind of experimentation that I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out at the start, what combos you're able to do. Plus, we only had access to one weapon per class, except for Gunner, because it can use mech gun and rifle. But in terms of Hunter, I would say the one complaint that I have right now is that, well, 2 complaints, and one is being addressed. The first one being that you can't cancel out of an animation to guard. Sega already said they're working on that, so that should be around for either whenever they do open beta or whenever they're going to do the launch. So good on them for fixing that, because the way I had to kind of play before then was, or during this rather, is kind of defensively, in that I would keep doing my combo and waiting for the attack to come in, do the counter, and then go into a photon art. So it became a little bit more strategic like that, but that doesn't seem to be intended. The other complaint that I have, Hunter's Nova Strike, the way it works now is rather than holding you in place, it does push you forward a little bit, and that's how it worked in Phantasy Star Nova as well, but it's just not fast and far enough. I want to see them bring back Guilty Break, and I know it's strange to say that when we just got Photon Dash and Photon Glide, but I think Hunter just needs a little bit more quickness when it's trying to catch up to an enemy that's trying to run away.
So it just doesn't have its good gap closer then?
Correct, it needs a better gap closer.
Because I believe that don't all the other weapons you've tried out, don't they still have their regular gap closer?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't checking for the gap closer on those, to be honest.
Okay. I don't remember the name for it, but for TMG, it's the one where you twirl in the air.
Oh, the style roll. Yeah, that's still there.
No, not the style roll. The like you corkscrew forward through the air. What's it called?
Oh, Dead Approach. Yes, that still exists.
Dead Approach, yeah.
Yeah, so Gunners are still going to be able to do that. The other sort of complaint... Well, two other complaints I have, and these are more in general. The first is do you remember how the camera was pulled all the way out for that boss enemy a moment ago?
Yep.
I wish it would stay like that for the entire game session.
There's no way to pull it out yourself.
Correct.
Anywhere else.
It's only done for bosses, and I want it to stay out like that. That's sort of that's something I've always wanted for PSO2 as well, and as of right now, you can only do that through mods, unfortunately, and even then, whenever there's a boss around, it's the boss sets it to a specific distance.
Okay.
The other complaint I have, and this is something that the development team needs to work on, North Area appears to have an optimization issue, and I was able to confirm this finally by checking on other streams after I was done with my own. There's a problem whereby the game seems to be trying to load something, and it's causing frame drops in that area, and that's not good. And I've got a fairly decent graphics processor here. I've got a GTX 2080, so it's no slouch.
So yeah, Mini Chris actually said here, how did it run on your 2080?
Aside from that, you're basically seeing what I was getting. If not, maybe I was getting a few more frames than this. It's really good from what I've seen, and I was able to basically leave things cranked all the way up. Blur, of course, turned off, but it was cranked except in the North Area region, where even when I turned things down, I was still getting frame drops. So there's something going on in that area, and I don't know what it is. It's possible that what might be happening is the snow area behind North Area may not be finished, and the game is trying to call files that don't exist yet, and that can sometimes cause frame drops in other games if data is missing.
Mhm. Oh yeah, the target lockup. How was the targeting compared to PSO2?
Targeting is, it's a little bit better, but still, I was finding when I was trying to target certain spots on bosses, it was still never targeting where I wanted it to target. So it's that also needs some work as well. But I'll say I'm not as frustrated about it as I am in PSO2, because I found that I didn't always need to target enemies when I was just using the free, when I was just fighting enemies. It was only when it kind of became like a one-on-one situation that I really needed to do that.
Okay. So yeah, it's still not the best. Yeah.
Correct. But then again, I also didn't have a chance to look through all the options because I can't read Japanese, so it's possible they may have some sort of fix in there, and that's something I do need to preface all of this with, is that there may be options in there that I'm just not aware of yet.
It's just you don't read Japanese, and neither do I. That didn't stop me from putting how many hours into Dragon Quest X right now? 530? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so...
But that's another thing I want to mention, language approach. How easy was it for you to pick up how to do things despite you not being able to read Japanese?
As long as I had, like, something pointing me at where my destination was, I pretty much was able to just pick up and play. Having experience with PSO2 does help with some of the menus, though. Particularly if you're trying to, like, set up your subclass and things like that. But if just going through the options menu, it took me a while to figure things out. Like, for instance, I had to reset where my block and my dodge buttons were on my mouse, and that took me a few minutes to figure that out just because I can't read Japanese, but I did eventually get it to where I needed it to be.
Also, why are the symbols PlayStation symbols for your action bar there?
Well, that's just how the you're able to swap between the different types of symbols through the menu.
Okay. It just defaults to the PlayStation symbols?
I guess so.
Huh.
I'm gonna skip this ahead a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so this footage here is with the, I think this is with the emergency quest coming up here, which was a fun time. The one thing you gotta remember about the emergency quest is if you're in the area where it's going to pop, you need to put your weapon away to get in there.
Oh. Yeah, I believe I was actually watching your stream during the time. Didn't you exit out of the game and reopen it in order to actually do the emergency quest?
Yeah, I had to actually join it from the city instead of out in the field. And this here's the region mag, and with this you're able to feed it and
mug?
Yeah, the mug. You can feed it and get certain buffs from it, like a rare drop booster. I think everybody can also contribute to it for an experience booster, I think, as well.
Yeah, I remember them talking about that during the NGS presentations about this region mag.
Yep, and
the more people contribute to it, the more boost is applied to everyone.
Right. Yep. And then once you feed it, it goes into a little animation, and every single time I see this thing, I'm like, remember like those first generation Ibo dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has that feel.
Adorable.
And I'm not talking about a fin.
It's adorable. Oh yeah, it's like the eye dog or the eye turtle, eye fish, all those weird eye toy things.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. They were literally just speakers, but they were in the shape of an animal, and the speaker quality was garbage.
Well, the Ibo was actually a dog that could walk around and things like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Ibo, and you had like a little bone thing for it.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking a fin here. Ibo. But yeah.
So, with the emergency quest, so you like that it now has an HP bar?
Oh, I love it, and a stun bar as well. Let you know how close.
Go ahead. Footage to show that fight here.
Yeah, let me skip it ahead a little bit. Let's see. This was where I was struggling to get in, and this was where I was actually checking the loop at the end of the track. I gotta redo that track.
Oh.
Here we go. Here's the fight itself.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
So it was a level 10 monster. Okay.
Yep. And I said, "Look at me," because I just popped a war cry there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's really nice. So I see that it has a health bar at the top there, and I believe the second gauge is the stun gauge. So once that lowers all the way, it's stunned.
Correct.
All right.
Now that's separate from I guess whatever this is. I guess somebody cast a technique on it. Maybe they shocked it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see the shock symbol right under it.
Yep. Well, that's the element it's weak against.
Oh, okay. So I guess if you hit it with its weakness, it can do a small stun then.
Yep. Now, one other complaint I have about Hunter, it didn't come up here, but I'm sure it's going to in the future. If Hunter is designed to take damage as part of its thing, then they're going to have an issue with Restimates, and I would expect, or at least hope, that in the future, Hunters are going to be able to store up more than 10 of the Restimates. Maybe let them stack it up to like 40 or 50 or something like that. Because if that's what their main mechanic is, then they need to be able to take those hits and not run out of health at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can get more Restimates.
Around this field, there are Restimates that you can pick up.
There are, but that only gave you a total of 20 for the boss, basically.
Huh.
Yeah, I would hope either that, or maybe Sega is planning to reintroduce Blaze Parry at some point, at which point then we'd go back to the PSO2 style of things, whereby it's not taking damage, but countering the damage as it's coming in.
Q-Tech?
I guess.
But another thing I do like about the Restimates, it's instant. Like how it is in PSO1 and Clementine, or not Clementine, in Universe. How it is in PSO1 and in Universe, it's instant.
Actually, not quite. There is a slight delay to it, and I found that sometimes if I was still in the middle of an attack, it would not trigger.
Okay.
So
but you don't have a long drawn out drinking animation.
Correct. You can keep doing what you're doing, but there seems to be some things whereby I don't know if it's the keyboard input that's not being recognized in the moment or what the deal is, but there is some sort of delay that I noticed in there.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe just delay from you're on a Japanese server playing as a US person or something like that.
Possibly if they actually made that server side, but I'd be kind of surprised that they did, given that in the past these games have been more client side. Another complaint I have as of right now is the timing for figuring out how, if you're in the middle of a jump, if you're going to do a normal attack versus a drop attack. So like right there, I'm trying to do a normal attack as I'm jumping up, and instead I'm doing a drop attack. The way that works as of right now is if you're holding down the spacebar, you do the drop attack. But there also seems to be a window after you let go of the spacebar that you can also do the drop attack. And I'm hoping that there might be a way to assign that separately from the spacebar in the future. So maybe like the shift key or the control key, just make it some sort of a modifier that you can do rather than trying to tie two actions to the same button.
Maybe there was a option, and then in the options, it's just you weren't able to read it.
Exactly. That's exactly why I brought that up. So
yeah.
But yeah, we got the boss down about halfway at this point here. They've gone red. They've got their crystals on them now. So yeah, they're angry.
Now, I know you're probably just going to be sticking with Hunter here when it comes to when this game launches, but besides the little bit of fighter that you tried out, any other classes that you're interested in trying out?
So I did try out Gunner. Problem there was I couldn't figure out how to even get chain trigger to work in the first place. Apparently, I have to use a photon art to actually activate it, because it's not a button press like it used to be in PSO2. Let's see. I didn't try out Force, but I did try out Tekker. And what I found, unfortunately, was when I equipped the sword, and I just replaced all the attacks that Tekker might have with the sword attacks, including the normal, the sword attacks are coming out stronger than the wand attacks.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So, it's nice to be able to use techniques, of course, but that probably isn't intended, and if anything, I would expect Sega probably needs to buff the wand a bit.
But Tekker's a support class.
It's true, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe that actually is the intention then. So if you go Tekker Hunter, then you can just use the stronger swords. And then
I get.
And then the only time you use the wand is whenever you're casting a technique. Then at that point,
that still just doesn't seem right, though.
It kind of works though if you look at it from the multi-weapon perspective, though.
True, but Tekker is supposed to be that close range that close range technique user, being like using those techniques that just create fields around you, and then you just smack things.
Yep.
Like that's how it is when it comes to like similar in universe is Acro Tekker. Yes, they are support class, but they also smack things. Not with the strongest weapons, like they have daggers and whips, but they can still dish out some really good damage.
Yep. And yeah, definitely a third-person mode is still in there, so you're able to do that if you want.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose one thing that Sega hasn't done yet with PSO2 or New Genesis that they could potentially do eventually that might help alleviate that would be if they were to ever do something like a slicing versus a blunt damage sort of thing, similar to like how you have in D&D. But that's going to be up to Sega if they want to try to implement that.
Another thing I hope they stick with is they mentioned that progress isn't going to be solely dictated by emergency quest.
Right. I hope that's going to be the same as well.
And stuff.
If anything, I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more story-oriented this time for progression. And that the emergency quests are just going to be purely for, like, getting gear and things like that.
Or to catch up for people who haven't been able to be lucky with certain drops.
Possibly, yeah.
Like, that's all I would much rather have the emergency quest be, a catch-up mechanic.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing with PSO2. You had to specifically time out your schedule around the emergency quests just so you could get the materials needed for the best weapons and armor.
True, yeah. Yeah, hopefully you'll actually just be able to get those from out in the field now.
Mm-hmm. I like I said, I hope so, and I will capitalize on that. Mark my words, I will do that.
Yep. I would say hunting down the red box is going to be one of your priorities because those give you 5,000 Meseta each box. There are also some yellowish crystals that also give you 3,500 Meseta per sale. They're sort of like the new Meseta crystal, essentially.
Yeah. Never lucky to get good weapon. Just need to be luckier. That's it. That's the only advice I give. Just be lucky.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and I did finally get confirmation regarding a fixing. So you cannot stack more than 10 of the capsules at a time.
Oh.
So you are going to have those situations where you have only like 80% chance of it working. But at least it's easier to work with the system now compared to what it was before, in that anything that does affix, you can then reaffix if necessary to 100%.
But you can still end up being doo-dooed, pretty much.
Yeah, you can end up losing a slot on a weapon, and then have to put a filler in until you get what it is you're actually looking for. But yeah, it's
That's pretty much all that I had for questions right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had a ton of fun with it. I really can't complain about the time I got, considering, I didn't get an invite myself. I had to, once again, I have to thank the Ryopichu for allowing me time on their account. This we would not have this footage right now if this hadn't happened.
Yeah, and hey, you now have footage to use for your audio uploads.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta redo the emergency quest one. I gotta redo the pre-fight on the emergency quest. And there's also been a fix to some of the other audio issues we were having. So I'm gonna be able to get most of what's in there out fairly soon. There's some tracks that haven't been released yet, though. So I'm gonna hold off on those until they actually come out.
All right. So
yeah, and then of course, go ahead.
So when is this game gonna release?
So if I had to guess, I would say we're looking sometime in May or June at this point. I think we're a little.
Sounds most reasonable at this point.
Yeah, if not released, then at least open beta by then.
Yeah, May or next month sounds the most reasonable, especially since we just recently had the final PS Station Plus.
Indeed. So why don't we go ahead and head into the rest of the topics that we have for this week here. And that is actually going to start us off here with... we'll start off with global here, because there is a little bit to talk about, but it's not a ton here. Let me...
Also, was that a smooth transition or what?
Finally, something's working here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so... oh, and happy early birthday, I guess.
Yeah.
So we do have a new AC scratch this week for global here. Designer Dreams number 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at this here.
Blood, partial nudity, strong language, and violence. Oh no.
I don't get the reference you're going for there.
No, that's exactly what it said for the ESRB thing. Just,
oh no.
Oh.
I didn't even really see that. Sorry. But yeah, it looks like some wizardly stuff here, I guess, maybe?
More so like old-timey, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Or wizardry, yeah. That kind of fits.
Also, we got the spring thing coming up, which is going to bring out the Rappy Lobby Ball.
Mm-hmm. That just looks like a Gundam.
Yep, the Ratio set.
Yeah, the color variant set. It just looks like a Gundam.
I wish they would release the non-color variant sets first, though. Where is the Brightstar set?
I don't know. I don't know why we haven't gotten the Brightstar set yet. Yep. Also, ballooned bosom.
Uh-huh, the second type of that.
Yeah. That messy long hair, though. That doesn't look that great. Oh, tracking neon weapon camo.
Yep.
That looks like a scythe.
Plasma hands.
Oh.
That's a wired lance.
Okay, it's not static. Okay.
That looks like a railgun.
Yeah, it does.
And then we got some poses here. The wired lance and the sword. And the knuckles.
Knuckles as well. All right. We're just getting all the weapon poses now. Dance 51. interesting dance. And we got bonus reward Magic Post 3 for doing specific amount of scratches.
Yep. Aside from that, we have the, whoops, that's not right. There we go. Polygonal.
Fighting Polygon Team!
Yep. Let's see, and then we got, the Gothic...
Let's go back up. What caused that polygon to just stretch all the way out like that?
Oh, I have an image zoom add-on that basically lets me, right and left click at the same time, and that does that.
Oh.
So, misclick!
I think stretching it out just makes it look even better.
Let's see, you got the Bloody Maria, and the Mew Pipus F?
New Pipist. Okay. I guess there's a male version then?
I don't see it here.
I don't know. Yeah. Yes, the Stretching Polygon Team.
The Stretch Armstrong Polygon. Let's see, you also got the Jewel Eyes. And
With
the,
no pupils. That just looks disturbing.
Radiant Pupils. And the Orbit Eyes. Puts a little circle in your eyes there. Then you got the polygonal waist parts.
So you get the polygon outfit, then you just put the polygons on the polygons, so you have even more polygons on your polygons.
Uh-huh. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any hexagons here.
Well, damn.
And boing, yep.
You got your big boobs.
Mechanical ribbon. And the metal quartz wings are kind of interesting. That's the B type. Here's the A type. So, yeah, those look like those would actually work well on a cast.
Oh, definitely. Like, mechanical wings on a cast should just fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And that Raven Cape, ooh, boy, that looks really nice.
This one here.
Yeah. And the Bellweave reminds me of a Dragon Quest character.
Huh.
Let me... I think I remember the name. It's from Dragon Quest 6, so it's not the one that I like at all. I'll send you a picture of her.
Okay. I know I made a complaint about this. Say again?
It reminds me of the ribbons that the character Millie from Dragon Quest 6 has.
Huh. I'm not that familiar with them.
Okay. I sent you a picture.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess so, kinda. Missing the bells at the ends of the
Yeah. But it's just those ribbons that are strung across like that.
Yep. And then I know I made a complaint about this, and I'm still gonna say this isn't quite enough here. Unique tongue, you can get this in other colors, but when I say being able to change the color of the mouth and tongue, I mean with an RGB slider.
Yeah. And that's tongue is just stuck on your face there, and you can move it around your face. So it's not an actual tongue.
Correct. Then you got the Flame of Life accessory.
The flame stuff there looks interesting.
Yep, here's another variation.
The sharp, spiky teeth mask. Also, that glowing eye effect, that's me whenever I see anything involving money.
Glowing eye effect. You know what that reminds me of? Undying the Undying.
Yep. obligatory Undertale reference insert here.
Yep.
Let's play the first note of Megalovania. Dude.
Don't you know Megalovania is a genre now? Let's see. Spiky teeth mask. So you can kind of still see your own lips there.
Well, you just need to adjust it up and you're fine then.
True. And then you got some wacky eyes.
We just need the shark hood and then someone can make Gura.
Let's see. You also got the Asura arms.
Again, would fit much better on a cast.
Yep. And the mechanical visor. Probably the same thing there as well.
Yeah.
And then you got the Nyan D evolution device for your mag. And then 8 weapon camos.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And now one seems like a sword that also has, like, little missiles on it or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the one that was a rifle, I think.
A rifle?
Yeah.
Oh!
It showed as a rifle in the video.
Oh, good point, good point. Okay. Yeah, I thought that looked like a sword, but I guess you're right, yeah. Looking at it closer. Okay. Your elemental transition this time is fire. You got your typical photon point /3 augments.
That's different. The emotes there. They actually partially show it on the page now as a picture.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's a Wild West show.
Why'd they wait until a year out to start doing that?
I don't know. As for your bonuses, at 45 scratches you get the 663 Magic Pose number 3. At 5 draws and 10 draws you get the CC Choker M and F. So there's the Magic Pose. And then, of course, coming up this Wednesday early morning, you're going to be looking at Maintenance, which is probably going to be one of the final content launches we're going to see. I'm expecting at least the ultimate Primordial Darkness fight. I'm expecting stages 31 to 35 of the Divide Quest. And I'm expecting the ultimate... Actually, I think I said that already.
Yeah.
I'm also expecting, if we're gonna have it, because this would be the time to have it, Viva Las Vegas. And lastly,
Graphical update.
Say again?
Graphical update.
Yep.
We still need that on global.
Yep. And this would be the time to do it, given that we also are getting the PSO2, or rather the PSO 20th anniversary event, which is the same update that they did the graphical update in.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy your endless nightmare, everyone. That's the limited quest.
Endless nightmare. That explains my life in general. Obvious joke is obvious joke. Woo!
Yep.
That was too easy of a joke to make. Come on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, moving on from Global. We have the final PSO2 Station Plus. So, secret phrase this time gives you the Arakaze Juna Naha. Looks like a gun/, camel there. 44 star gems and a Tokyo bonus key rainbow. Emergency quest poll was Arc Ship Fire Swirl. And there is the 20th Anniversary Orchestral Concert Sympathy 2021 happening on April 24th. You can view it in person or online. 7,500 yen for the in-person ticket, 4,000 yen for online ticket. But keep in mind, the service that they're going through does require confirmation through a text message, and they do not recognize international phone numbers. You need a Japanese phone number.
Damn it. I do know someone who lives in Japan, so maybe I could talk with them about that, and just hopefully they can do that for me then.
That
Obviously, I'll be purchasing the ticket myself if I was to do that, but I'll see.
that would be a really cool thing if they could help you out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. By purchasing a ticket, you're going to get the AIS suit Snow, the Bleachers lobby action, the 20th anniversary logo sticker, Sodom battle music, and the Rappy Sing #1 NGS stamp.
After NGS is released.
Indeed.
We got upcoming AC Scratch starting on the 31st is the Shining Collection Revival. So a revival scratch of Shining Collection.
Yep. March 31st, there's going to be a category specialization revival scratch, PSO2 male and female collection. There's going to be the PSO2 Memorial Mission campaign, and the Cradle of Darkness gets ultra hard mode.
Wow, that took a while for that to get ultra hard.
Yep. So to all of you that are leaders of
the first urgent quest they ever did.
I think you're right on that one. Well, no, I think the first urgent quests were just single boss battles, actually.
Okay.
Let's see. But Cradle of Darkness Ultra Hard, that's going to be interesting because now you're going to have all these teams out there, or alliances, that have all these points stored up because they haven't been able to purchase anything in a long time. Now they're going to be able to spend those points on the Cradle of Darkness triggers to be able to run this on Ultra Hard.
That's going to be fun.
Yep. Let's see. On April 7th, there's going to be a Beckoning Darkness gets Ultra Hard mode. So that's the one with where you go up against Falls Angel at the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's also going to be a Revival Scratch PSO2 Star Gem collection. And that one is... next, then we've got from... yeah, that's what this is. It's a support item selection. A Grand Photon Point, Grand Striking, Grand Technique, Grand... Grand Shooting, and then Grand Power at the end. Special ability protection 8 slot or lower. So you'll be able to pick those up if you need them.
And be able to just fully upslot any weapon, it looks like.
Pretty much, yeah.
And April 14th is pretty much the summer lobby, the Sakura lobby.
Yep. You got Khorshid, Akhtar, and Jean appearing in lobby. Once again, those are characters from PSO2S. You get their partner cards through client orders. Akhtar and Khorshid are also going to appear in emergency trials. And the PSO2 Memorial Mission campaign continues. April 14th, they're going to add old-type weapons to the Weapon Badge SP Exchange. So, now you'll be able to finish up whatever titles you don't have. Because on the Japanese version, they had the old-type weapons on there. And part of that was, if you grind up certain old-type weapons, you get titles from that.
So it's just going to make it easier to get those titles if you never got them. And
Right.
then, one big thing that I much appreciate, clear limit per day for solo ultimate quest. Masquerade is now 50, and Sodom is now 10.
Yep.
Yeah, on JP, it is super easy to kill Masquerade.
Yep.
So bringing that up to 50, it just helps out for people who want to get through all 999 floors of Masquerade.
Yep. And then they're placing a terminal for damage tally practice Rock Bear in the screenshot studio. Can we get all creatures, please? Not just Rock Bear?
Please. Rockbear is a very specific monster, but there are other monsters that have plenty of much better weak points that aren't in the air.
Yep. And just look better in certain environments.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-April, you're going to have the Revival Scratch Scarlet Bullet. April 14th, you're also going to have a PSO2 S Revival Scratch, Essence Revival.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty
part
much
of
all the character outfits that are from PSO2S.
Yep, including the Lilica here, who is the one remaining talking Lilipin, at least until you go to their home planet. You're also going to get on April 14th, Mining Base Demise Ultra Hard. With the 14th, there's also going to be a boosted version of Primordial Darkness at level 200. Quest failure occurs after 2 deaths. It is a 4-player quest, and the time limit is set to 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
Why that specific with the time limit?
Phantasy Star Online 2.
I get it, but it's dumb.
I know. We'll see how many players are able to actually complete it. Personally, I think only about 100 players in the whole game are going to be able to finish that one.
Probably. April 21st update, Oracle Renewed Collection 3. And it will have NGS support.
Mm-hmm.
And also, April 21st, new accessories and lobby actions rock sign, air quotes, 2-finger pose, and 2 pose. So basically new stuff that is specific for NGS.
Yep. April 21st as well, you're going to get the category specialized Revival Scratch, PSO2 MF Cast Collection G, as well as Mission Pass Season number 6. And that is going to include an AIS costume as well. The AIS Suit Shadow, AIS Vega Vulcan, AIS Vega Launcher, and the AIS Vega Blade weapons.
Ooh. April 28th update, the Underground Nightmare gets Ultra Hard. And enemy arrangements are different in some portions. Ooh.
Yep.
So mixing it up a bit.
Yep, so enjoy your apprentice there. May 1st to the 12th, you got a GW Arrival accessory selection. And that's going to include a couple of more emotes here as well.
Mm-hmm.
May 5th, you also have the Oracle Renewed Collection number 4, NGS supported.
Also May 5th, you get new accessories and lobby actions. Jump pose, fist pose, Odin, and wand tact pose. What's Odin?
Odin... Is that food? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Kinda hard to see it here.
Yeah, it's food. Odin is a type of nambe mono consisting of several ingredients such as boiled eggs, daikon, konjac, and processed fish cakes stewed in a light soy-flavored dashi broth. Okay, then. You never heard of Odin before, but now I know.
May 12th, you're also getting a category specialization Revival Scratch for a makeup collection. And for May 19th, you get the Oracle Renewed Collection 5 with NGS supported.
I see Matoi outfit there, and I want that. No, wait, no, not Matoi.
Echo?
I see Kuna's outfit there, and I want that.
Okay. They appear to be very shiny.
Oh, very shiny. It's because of the new graphics.
Yep.
It makes a lot of things look like plastic.
May 19th, you get the, you also get accessories and lobby actions, Lather Explain, the number 3 pose, and the Jet Boots Dual Blades.
And also Oracle Renewed Collection 5, which is NGS supported.
Yep. Yeah, it was up here, actually, so.
Yep.
And that's it. That's what they told us is coming for the updates. There are some other things happening here, including some merch. So, there is an official PSO2 glasses frame coming. That is going to that's going to retail for 19,000 yen. There is also an episode Oracle Arc Ship Fire Swirl CD coming. That is going to include 4 tracks. 2 of them are the Burning Hearts Angel track with the two voices that we heard in the new version. One from Takano Miyoshi, and then I'm not sure who the other one was. But Miyoshi is singing his English version now.
Awesome. Which, can we get that on global now as well? Because I really, or just anything else involving Burning Rangers. Like, can we get a Burning Rangers remake, please?
It's a game that has a good amount of potential to do that, or rather to do well, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I just hope, like, just put the original Burning Rangers on Steam just to get people interested back into Burning Rangers, and then drop we're doing a remake of Burning Rangers. That would just be great.
Yep, I guess we'll see if that happens.
Get it off the Saturn, because getting a legitimate copy of Burning Rangers is like $250.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not as insane as Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is close to 600.
True. Let's see. For purchasing it, you're also going to get the 733 Vocal Performance 12 Lobby Action, the Rescue Gun Camo, the Goodbye Fire Camo, so those are going to be water guns and a fire extinguisher. You also get the Burning Hearts version Ash, the Burning Hearts version English, and the CD Package Matte 24 room item. You also have the volumes 9 and 10 of the PSO2 soundtrack coming April 28th and June 30th respectively, each for 4,400 yen. And you get some item codes: Ultra Hard Lilipa, Ultra Hard Navarius, Episode 6 opening theme, and Boss BGM The Coolty for soundtrack volume 9. And then you get the new Genesis main theme and Ultra Hard Wopal and Harukotan for volume 10.
Each are 4,400 yen.
Yep.
Which is approximately $44.
Yep. But typically they come with 3 to 4 CDs usually.
Yeah. It's usually worth it, even if you don't use the item codes.
I'm hoping that now that PSO2 is effectively over, they're going to release a full 1 to 10 volume package.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. Expensive, but still less expensive than all of this.
Oh yeah. AIS plastic model. Oh, so pretty much a Gundam.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I still wish the AIS at some point would show up in Super Robot Wars.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now Sega's releasing their own type of Gundam with the AIS models here. So that's pretty cool.
You also got the AIS Vega unit here. That is at a 1 to 72 scale. You got the Episode 6 Materials Collection. So that is, I believe that's going to be a book going over the different art and such of the of Episode 6. That's also going to include item codes Persona Omega Battleware, Chain Persona Accessory, and a Coat Weapon D Camo, Persona Pose Lobby Action and Persona Hair, Persona Voice Male and Female, Materials Collection Cover Poster E Room Item, Crying Your Fantasy and Thank You Music Disc, and a free Salon Pass.
That free Salon Pass looks like the most important thing out of that item codes, don't you think?
I don't think so.
They also got some Sympathy 2021 merch.
Yep.
Tapestry, which is just like a big poster thing, for 3,000 yen. 20th anniversary t-shirt for 3,000 yen.
Yep, and on the back of that is the listing of every logo since the original Phantasy Star Online.
Wow.
Although, actually, no, I take that back. Not every single one. It's missing Phantasy Star Universe Ambition of the Illuminus.
Yes, it is. But I do see Portable 2 and Portable 2 Infinity.
Yep. Let me see if I can zoom this a little bit more. Nope, it's not taking it. Oh well.
Ah.
What if I do this? Nah, that's... Now the stretching isn't even working there. But yeah, t-shirts are coming for 3,000 yen each. Only up to, only between sizes M to XL.
Yep.
And then there is a merchandise set which is 7,000 yen and includes all the items here.
But yeah, also the ticket acrylic plate key holder. So, okay, cool.
Yep. And then this is sort of the big one here.
Ooh,
The ARKS medal. So, this medal contains your character play stats such as their class and subclass, quest completions, playtime, player ID, and name. For the basic set, it's 8,000 yen. You get the medal as well as the ARKS card, and then for an additional 2,500 yen, you can get more ARKS cards.
That's cool.
Yeah. So several years ago, they allowed you to get a model of your own character created, and now you can get a plaque that goes along with that.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I hope they offer this in Global as well.
Yeah, like, start getting all the merch over in Global now. You've established that Global is now making more than JP, so start bringing the merch.
Yep.
I would actually buy this stuff because it just looks so cool. It would look awesome on my shelf.
Yep, same here. And then they got some campaigns going on here. The PSO2 Memorial Campaign, starting March 31st. Clear limited time quests to receive a 100 Star Gem ticket, lobby actions, and camo. And then for the class level 100 campaign, players who reached or reached level 100 will receive a 100 Star Gem ticket per class reached, and players who reach or who have reached or reached level 100 on all classes will receive an additional 500 Star Gems.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
Yep. And then...
So even if you... I'm guessing this also just includes anyone who got to 100 before this... Like, even has every class at 100 before this campaign even started.
Yep.
I guess they just got all that Star Gems right away.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And then there's the second part to the campaign. There's a bonus Tokyo Key Rainbow campaign going for 2 periods. First between March 31st and April 21st, and then from April 21st to May 12th. Clear featured quests to obtain items like the Rainbow Tokyo bonus key and the 150% try boost. For April 7th to May 12th, there is a 300% rare drop and experience boost for all quests, and then bonus quests get an additional 300% experience boost on top of that.
Wow.
That's like better than even what Global got here.
Far better than what Global got.
Yep. And then there's also a login campaign for 2 periods. Log in for 3 days rather. In period 1, get a 50 Star Gem ticket. Log in for 5 days for a Carnation accessory, and then log in 10 days for the lobby action 283 dance number 41. So yeah, PSO2 may be winding down, but there are still some campaigns going on. There's some new content coming. But yeah, this was the last of the PS... Go ahead.
But judging by the way that they have the content laid out, you might be right with the game releasing probably, like with NGS, probably releasing late May or early June.
If we really want to take this literally, if I had to peg a date on it, May 13th. That would be a Thursday.
That would probably work. Thursday releases...
Or it could be May 12th itself.
Like, probably May 7th would make the most amount of sense.
True. I guess we'll see.
Yep.
I would expect when the time comes, there is going to be a 24-hour maintenance, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. So probably starting May 6th will be the maintenance, and then May 7th will be the official launch.
Yep.
That's just our assumption, by the way. We don't fully know when the launch date is, but we can only assume on that. So
Yep.
probably the global beta test will be next month, and then followed by the release in May.
Yeah, I would say for global to get its beta test, I would say we would probably see that the week of the 16th.
Yeah, that would make sense. But
Question
we'll see.
being, go ahead.
Question being what?
The question being, is there going to be enough time that if global finds major issues that they're going to be able to patch it in time?
Hopefully.
That's one of the risks
They already had 2 beta tests on JP, so they already squashed out most of the major issues that have come up.
Yep, but there are also things that potentially global could pick up on that the Japanese side didn't.
That is true. Anyway,
Yep.
continuing on with what we have here.
Yep, we've got some Idola updates. You want to take these?
Yep, game's still broken. There we go. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some of these issues going on. For some reason, Idola, since the episode 2 update, specifically global version, has been having a lot of issues. So right here, Night of Dreams said, "We've made an update today to fix most bugs today and are hereby kindly asking you to manually download the patch from App Store or Google Play to reflect the changes. Following issues have been addressed: infinite Idola battle load, similar unit not allowing to pull, missing Idola battle mission, wrong currency symbol displayed on iOS device, and some text optimization. And for those of you who have purchased the monthly SD pass multiple times, you will receive 1000 SD the months you have purchased through in-game box instantly, and your SD pass has been extended accordingly. We would also like to make another apologies for the agony brought by the patch updates. I have personally read all the comments on the Facebook/Discord and shared with the team. To be honest, the great supports you have shown makes us wonder if we even deserve dear players like you. We are truly sorry for the bad experience, and thank you for everything you have done for us. Please take the free 10 times Gacha Roll ticket as a small gift, and hopefully we won't have an apology anymore in the future." So yeah, they were facing a lot of bug issues, especially when it came to text. And infinite load times were not good at all.
Yep.
So they just gave a free 10 times pull for everyone as an apology.
Yep, and then they say below there, seems the infinite loading bug is still not fully resolved, and they're asking players to report that in the #bug reports channel. There is mismatched information on symbols that has been noted, and they are sorry for a misunderstanding of the Lease X. She is not intended to be the free gift. That one's on them for bad wording. And they are hoping the hackers in the arena are mostly gone since they recently installed a brand new anti-cheater wall. But if players spot suspicious behavior, to please let them know. Meanwhile, they are postponing the recruitment of Overwatch members and will keep players posted if they resume the process.
Hopefully we don't need it anymore.
Yep. Overwatch was sort of a manual way of checking for cheaters.
Yep.
Along with that,
Seems to be effective for the most part.
The Star Festival Selection Gacha is being postponed due to technical glitches. They then had a second patch, which is fixing the unable to click on the download reward button. Better fonts are now used in the shop, and some missing text are fixed.
And they had a small 2-hour maintenance.
Yep. And then lastly,
They're still working on issues, though, as
Yep.
they mentioned there. Important side story missing text issue. Hello, at here. The devs now totally want to fix issues regarding side story missions that partially had a missing text on it. Some of them are fixed, but there's a side story characters that isn't 100% fixed. Now I'm gathering the issue about it and will issue a direct fix to the devs. If you found an issue regarding missing text on side story, please fill this form and follow the steps needed. From now on, missing text issues will not be assisted in this channel, bug reports, but you can still submit an issue about translation issues at translation suggestion. Also, feel free to contact the moderators if you need assistance for filling this form. So they're still missing a lot of text in a lot of different places. Hoo boy.
Yep. Yeah, episode really...
Well, I'm personally one of those people that when I play a gacha, I don't care about the story at all. I just skip everything. But I understand for the people who actually do care about the story, this is a major problem.
Yep. Yeah, it is a main problem, especially if you're interested in the lore of things like this.
Mm-hmm.
On the Japanese side, though, there is a story announcement here. PSO2 Station plus Idola recap. New chapter, episode 5, record 5, or episode 2, record 5, Karma, Fate. That comes with update 2.8. Meet the Sagittarius Zodiac, Lulutimia, and fight in a fateful battle versus Lindsay, where the girl's secret is finally revealed. Meanwhile, the Stargate squad also find their own fateful encounter next to a recognizable wreckage. Oh boy, that is Luther standing in front of one of the ARKS wrecked ships.
Oh, interesting.
There's also a birthday login bonus that is going to be happening now, so celebrate the birthday of your favorite character starting on 4/16 with Reiner. Get a bonus of 100 star diamonds when you log in to say happy birthday.
And Idola is also celebrating its 2.5 year anniversary.
Yep.
I actually do remember when Idola launched, it had the connection with PSO2, which was the only reason I had small interest in it.
Yep.
I still remember when those PNG lobby actions were first introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are still hilarious.
Yep. There's still some connections going on. Of course, you got characters like Luther showing up. Farame's been there from the start. You had Lisa and Kuna as well pop over to this world, so still don't know everything that's going on, but
You can't forget about the most important character, Rappy.
Mm-hmm. But Rappies are they just travel wherever they want, basically.
Yeah. But you can have a Rappy as a companion.
Yep, I've got one.
I sent you a picture. I boosted one up to 5 stars because you gotta have a 5-star Rappy. Come on.
6-star.
I will be boosting the 6-star on him. He deserves it.
Yep. Okay, also, Sleepy Giselle nerf. Although not announced in the stream, Sleepy Giselle will be nerfed in version 2.8. Before, at the start of the final battle, apply support effect removal for 1 turn. Or the skill can last for 2 turns, if it's a potential ability. The nerf version, at the start of the final battle, apply a support effect removal. 1 turn with 1 use potential ability. Also increase speed by 20% once per quest. As compensation, there's going to be 1,000 star diamonds delivered to all users. You also have the new character Lulutimia, young ruler of the desert country. And then Ihelma, the first commander of the desert country. And then Giselle Memories, little bird. Stella Memories finally gets a playmate with the introduction of Giselle Memories. She features the new skill Little Bird Manage, which works similar to Guts, but instead of living at 1 HP, you prevent death and recover a chunk of HP.
Ooh. That sounds like something that would probably be abused in Arena.
Probably. Alright, so that's Idola. Let's move on now to the last thing we've got here for today, Clementine.
Yes. So
Starting
they
off-
got a pretty interesting update. It's going to be a while until they get another major update like this, since we will be going over the development timeline thing that they're going to be doing. But anyway, update that happened yesterday. They fixed an issue where Dragon, Dragoness, Zolgaug, and Alterazgaug would deal 4 times as much damage when walking in certain directions. Okay. Missions that were missing their S-rank difficulty from a previous update has been added, which is the Eastern Peril, Forest Infiltration, Crimson Beast, and Sunken Shrine. And following missions now receive S-rank difficulty, which is Aquatic Mama, the Dual Sentinel, Sakura Blast, Flowery Pursuit, Snowcap Screamer, Awoken Serpent, Stolen Weapon, Bladed Legacy, Castle of Monsters, The Dark God, Fantastic Voyage, Duel in the Ruins, Citadel of Sand, and Red Hot Jungle. I'm probably going to assume Fantastic Voyage is going to be the primary leveling spot again.
Probably.
Purely because of it being an S rank now.
Yeah.
Hopefully fix an issue where the Malin and Snowcap Screamer would sometimes appear invisible. Due to an unknown bug which causes the client to crash, the following missions will not receive S-rank difficulty: Beach Bum Beast and Sinner's Banquet. Huh. That's interesting.
Yep.
And many A-rank missions that have had significant drop rate increases to help lower level characters. It's good. Items. There's a bunch of items that got fixed up. I'm not going to name all of them. It's just a lot. There are a couple that had their sound effects corrected. Love Inferno will no longer apply charm by itself. Trying to see other ones that are important to talk about. Fixed an issue where Prompto Cannon was unable to drop. The Tesseline and Lithnia are now able to drop from any area with level 100 plus enemies. And the Genfu Sealed has had its stat requirements corrected. And all the rest of them either had their rarity corrected, special effect corrected, or sound effect corrected.
Yep.
My Room. The title reward for achieving level 100 on the type has been changed from 1 Monomate to 5 Infinity Grinders, which those Infinity Grinders will guarantee that you grind a weapon. So you just need to get a weapon up to 510, and then you use those 5 Infinity Grinders to guarantee that you get the 1010.
Yep.
And any player who's achieved one of these titles already will be reimbursed. You can find the reward in the comment box. And level cap has been raised to 99. And fixed an issue with the rare item notification system where items were displayed as 1 rarity too low has been fixed. So items that came, so with the rare item notification, it would pop up that an item dropped, a rare item dropped. It was 9 star, but then you picked it up and it was 10 star.
Yep. Alright, and then we also got another update from the team, specifically about the development of things. Coming from Marmalade, sorry about the lack of content right now. As most of you know, we're a bit tied right now, and it's going to be slow until May. However, we have some things to share with you that should hopefully give you some insight into where things currently stand and what to expect. Moving down here, starting the level 100 journey. With level 100, we will start working on incorporating the rest of the content so it can be available to you. We will still have to work around some of the issues present in Clementine, like broken exchange missions, so please bear with us. Master classes will be available with level 100, so yes, I am glad I put in the time to get the other thing leveled up. Their prerequisites are exactly the same as they were on official PSU, so don't sweat it. And S2 mission difficulty will be available along with appropriate drops and loot.
Catch up for characters players. This is actually something I'm really happy about because I know some friends who haven't played Clementine in a while, so this will be great for them to catch up, and also for me to level my ults finally. And we will be implementing a dynamic EXP curve for low-level characters and players. This is to help low-level players catch up quickly so they can enjoy PSU with everyone that is a higher level. Low-level players will gain an additional 50% experience This bonus will dynamically decrease as you level up towards the current cap, minus 15. This means that if the current cap was 100, then a level 1 character would gain the highest boost of 150%, and the boost will end at level 85, where experience gain will return to the default of 100. And now, grinding. It is likely to change, and while it won't appease everyone, most of us believe that it's for the better to remove the frustration that it brings. Sadly, PSU is old, and it doesn't fare well in the world of MMORPGs today, and this is something we've come to accept. Because the game is no longer behind a subscription service, there is no real need for a mechanic like this, so much as other challenging or enjoyable content. Because of this, we're planning to resolve some of these issues while trying to keep the challenge and reward for effort motivation intact. Big change for the grinding weapons. Grinding weapons will no longer result in your weapon reducing its maximum grind by 1 when breaking. It would instead return to its default of 0-10. Example, if you're grinding weapon from 6-10 and it breaks, it will return to 0-10 rather than 0-9. Good.
Yeah, that is big.
Yeah, that's pretty massive. It's still going to be a massive Meseta sink, because you will break weapons a lot, but not having, like, spending so much time trying to get a specific weapon and then grinding it only to have it break, so now you can't get it maxed out. This just alleviates so much time now.
Yep.
And it's actually something that I believe JP Universe, they did something to where you could restore the maximum amount of grinds, but they had it behind a paywall.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Yeah, it was behind the Guardian's cache. Along with the grinding change, we'll also be adjusting the actual grinders themselves to be closer to in success chance, instead of having large jumps between them. This change should allow all grinder qualities to be of use instead of only +9 or +10, and so that it also does not feel nearly as bad if you do not have higher quality grinders to use. And the overall chance to obtain a 10-10 will be slightly lowered as well. As it stands now, the maximum success chance to obtain a 10-10 S rank weapon using grinder S +10s all the way from 0 to 10 is approximately 4.64%. This will be slightly lower to approximately 3.6 to 3.8% to compensate for the fact that the maximum grind will no longer be reduced. Alright, I'll take that, honestly.
Yep.
That seems the most fair thing with grinding.
Yeah, I agree. It's going from a system of where if it breaks you just lose the weapon to a system where you lose the maximum grind to now just having it potentially still being able to be ground to the maximum with just a slightly lower chance of that happening now that the grinders themselves are more effective. Yeah, I can see that working as a better thing.
In the original universe, if it broke, you lost that weapon completely.
Yep, I never grinded beyond like a +1 or +2 in universe.
Yeah, they changed that in AOD
Yep.
to where it lowered the maximum cap, but yeah, that was a dumb mechanic.
Especially for a paid subscription.
Mm-hmm. Prototype weapon system. For the moment, this is just an idea we've been rolling around, and we will need to experiment some more, but we'd like to hear your feedback. Since PSU is fairly limited, it would be nice to add extra content that doesn't drastically tilt the game balance one way or another. This system would apply to all weapons, and would allow weapons to have a chance to drop as a rare variant or prototype version of itself. These prototype versions would have one of 4 to 5 possible enhancements applied to the weapon. That sounds interesting. Gives special... I guess it just... If you're going for a weapon, but another weapon drops that you can use that has a special thing on it, I guess that just opens up more chances of using weapons that you weren't originally going to go for.
True.
Or if you're going for a weapon and it drops with that kind of prototype thing, then that would be cool.
Yep.
They would be indicated via a different naming convention where the first letter of each word in the weapon's name would be used as an abbreviation, appended with a boost that the weapon has, along with a prototype code to distinguish it from the rest. For example, a prototype weapon of Gildan Milla with a no variance attribute would be displayed as GNM NVOE04 in game. This would also be displayed on the wiki under each weapon as possible prototypes. Enhancements will be small, but it would add some variety and rarity into the game that isn't necessarily a requirement in order to play. Obviously, there's a lot of ideas and ambitions going on here, and there is a lot to experiment with for now. This could all change in the future, or it might not happen at all, but your feedback and ideas would be appreciated.
Yep, so it's a new system. We'll have to see how effective it is. I don't know. I guess this is going to be one of their ways of replacing the gas system, I guess.
I know that they're still trying to work out how they can re-implement gas, but they would have to recode that from scratch.
Yeah, that's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's...
Yeah, major stuff for Clementine. It's just great that Universe is playable online again.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we mention Clementine, it is the only Universe private server for a reason. Because it's the only one that was willing to put up with the spaghetti code that Sega left for Universe.
Yep. And now they're getting to the point where they're gonna bring out the master classes, and I have every intention of becoming a gun master.
Awesome. I'm probably sticking with AT because I like AT.
All right.
I never thought I would fall in love with AT, but I really enjoy that class.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of everything that I had prepared for today. Once again, looking forward to the next beta for New Genesis. Hopefully I'll be able to officially get in. Same for you, Zance.
Yep, I hope so. One other thing I'll mention here. From Efinia, actually, they added in 2 quests.
Okay.
I'll send you a link for that.
That was
so they
from...
added in. Yep.
That was from a couple of weeks ago. It looks like here.
Yeah, March 15th.
Yeah.
Just forgot to cover that last week.
Yep, here it is. So 2 new quests were added to the server over the weekend. The first quest, Twilight Sanctuary, is available under Episode 2 Tower. This is Sassmeister's first quest and is an impressive entry into quest development. We hope it will provide a fun challenge for a 4-player group. You can find his thread to check monster counts and provide feedback here. Second quest, This Must Be the Place, is available under Episode 1 Retrieval. Let's see, Ender created this. Following AD's script, the quest supports up to 2 players in the red and green player gem slots only. This quest will have some story elements and an alternative hidden ending after falls. A 4-player version without the story elements may be provided at a later time.
Huh. And wiki pages will be created soon for those new quests, which they're probably created at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, that's cool. Adding new content for what is supposed to be like quote-unquote vanilla PSO. But I will just say this, and Phantasy Star also mentioned this on a stream. People who say they want vanilla Blue Burst, they don't.
Yeah, I would say getting rid of what the EXP loss from leveling. I think that was a big one.
Yeah, EXP loss from leveling. Also, you don't have to tag enemies in order to gain EXP. That's another big one that Efinia added in.
Adding in HP bars.
HP bars, individual drops, instead of everything being shared.
Yeah, what they got is an interesting system over there. And the only reason I didn't use it for the show, which I still need to get back to at some point, is the fact that they do these weapon drop announcements, and I just don't want that on my screen.
Yeah. It's only like the weapon drop thing. It announces whenever anyone gets an uber rare, which doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Like a banner showed up whenever I got my first uber rare. I can't use it, but hey, I got an uber rare.
Alright, anything else you got here for us this week?
Nope, that's all I have.
Alright, and so that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Xance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.